All right, everybody, welcome back. We got our guy, Chef Chris, with us this morning. And, man, you have something unique. Now, this is pumpkin spice Alfredo.
Absolutely.
Never heard of that before, so I'm excited to see what you got this morning.
So, you know me, what I normally try to do is try to find a recipe that's going to be easy for everyone at home to be able to do, but also utilize stuff that they've got readily available to them.
Yeah.
I know this time of year, it seems like, I know Thanksgiving is a couple weeks away, but people are having it early, or you've got people over, and it seems like there's always turkey left over. So I wanted to use a recipe that would really utilize the turkey, but also still utilize a lot of the fall flavors that's super easy to execute.
Okay.
So we're going to make an Alfredo from scratch today, which again, super easy to do, but a lot of people think it's pretty, intimidating.
So I'm one of those people.
So what I have done here is I've already got our pan on about a medium heat, just to preheat. And then we're going to go ahead and throw in some heaping spoons of garlic.
Okay.
And then after the garlic, we're going to do some salt, some pepper. And you'll season pretty heavily right now. Okay. Because we're going to add the cream, we're going to add in the pumpkin. Right. So like normal, we're building our flavors right now.
Absolutely. Now with pumpkin, because I know for me, I don't cook a lot with it, but is that one of those that you kind of have to be careful with because it can overpower, or is it more like a neutral where you can pretty much pack it in?
So that's actually a good question. It actually can be a little overpowering depending on the usage. Like when we did the risotto a couple weeks ago, I know I talked about not wanting to put a whole lot of pumpkin in it because we didn't want it to overpower it. Now today we're going to use quite a bit of pumpkin. Okay. The reason for that is in this, the pumpkin is going to act as not only an emulsifier, but it's also going to act as a thickener for our cream itself. Okay. So we're going to add in, this is a whole can of pumpkin. Okay. And you can kind of hear the pan start to sizzle just a little bit. Mm-hmm. Again, we're not looking for a real high heat on this. We're looking for a lower heat. So that way you're just actually, you're not caramelizing the vegetables. We're just sweating those flavors out. Right. Now at the same time too, we're going to go ahead and add in, I just have some pumpkin spice. In the recipe, I called for nutmeg and a little bit of cinnamon and I think clove. Pumpkin spice has all of that pretty much in it. So again, I know every house I go into tends to have one of those little jars. If not, my house has I think 3 or 4 because I always forget I have it. Right. So we're going to add a little bit of pumpkin spice, crushed red pepper, which is going to help kind of offset a little bit of the gourd flavor from the pumpkin, but it's also going to help offset those spices as well. Okay. And then lastly, we're going to put in our cream.
Now, for the cream, can you do either half and half or heavy cream?
Absolutely. Okay. I prefer to do heavy cream. That's just going to produce a thicker cream at the end without having to use a roux or having to use any real heavy amounts of butter at the end to actually help thicken it. Right. Okay. So right now, we are just going to mix that pumpkin together to get it to a nice uniform consistency. Mm-hmm. So that way we can start to simmer it and bring it to just a real low boil. Yeah. We're really trying to preserve the color. We're not wanting to burn the milk and cream, obviously. Right. But all in all, this recipe itself is going to take us probably about 8 to 10 minutes start to finish.
That's it?
Yep. So super quick. super quick.
Man. Okay, now for you, I know I see the Alfredo pasta over here. Yep. Or what kind of pasta is that? Is that linguine?
It's actually fettuccine.
Fettuccine,
so, okay. The linguine is very similar, just slightly smaller.
Got you. Now, do you prefer to make your pasta from scratch, or is box pasta okay for something like this?
So, okay, that is 100% up to your preference. Okay. Just last week, I actually made my own pasta at the house. We did a pasta night with the kids, and that was really fun. But of course, it is one of those things that takes a little bit of time to do the pasta, let it relax and everything. Absolutely. Box pasta is also great. You can do it in a pinch. Even this one right here that I got, this is actually one of those pastas that is already a pre-done pasta, but it's in the cooler section, so it's a fresh pasta. So this will take us about 2.5 minutes to boil it, and then we're not having to actually worry about boiling it beforehand, cooling it back down to have it ready. We just open the bag, put it in the pasta water, and let it go.
Simple and efficient, man. Okay. All right, man. Well, don't go anywhere. Chef Chris will be back here. We got our good friend Chef Chris with us here this morning, and we are putting the finishing touches on this pumpkin spice Alfredo. I'm excited to see what you do with it.
Absolutely. So we're going to go ahead and start off by taking our pasta and dropping it in the water for us.
All right. And you said this pasta will be done actually really quick. 2-3 minutes tops.
Yep, tops. Again, if you're using a box pasta, it would be the same if you had boiled it ahead of time, cooled it back down,
Right.
and then are throwing it together right at the last minute.
Okay.
So our sauce here, as you can see, is thickened up really, really nicely. We're going to go ahead and add in some Parmesan cheese to it. So that way, again, we're just building a little bit more flavors. We're going to save a little bit of that cheese for when we plate it.
And I got to say, man, with that pumpkin spice, man, it smells like Thanksgiving in here.
I'm telling you. And then when you actually get a spoonful of it, like the smells, it tastes completely different from what it smells. Because it almost smells, like you said, like Thanksgiving, and it's like sweeter.
Yeah.
But when you try it, it's got a whole lot of garlic flavors. And then that crushed red pepper really does come through quite nicely.
Okay.
So we're going to let that kind of melt together. And like we said before, the pasta, as you can see, is just about ready.
I mean, it didn't take any time for that pasta.
No, not at all. And one thing that we were talking about off camera was the importance of, in the recipe, I called for a little bit of the pasta water itself.
Right.
And the reason for that is, as that pasta cooks, obviously it's got gluten in it. The glutinous starch is going to start to cook out in the water, and that's what produces the little bubbles you're seeing on top.
Okay.
And adding it to your pasta sauce is going to help two things. Number one, it's going to help thin it out just a little bit because it is thick. But number two, the extra starch that's in the water helps give it kind of a velvety, silky texture, and it's going to kind of give it a glossy sheen.
Okay. Now, do you put a little salt in your water before you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. A good way that I was always told in culinary school is when you're doing your pasta water, it should taste like you're taking a spoonful of the sea.
Okay.
It should be so salty. And again, the main reason is when you're cooking, all that flavors, especially boiling stuff, all that flavor's getting pushed in there.
Right.
So if you're just using just basic, especially if you're using good old Amarillo tap water, it doesn't have the best flavor profile without any extra seasonings to it.
Yeah, you're not wrong on that one.
All right, so we've got our pasta here, and we've got our sauce pretty much ready to go. So now we're just gonna mix the two together.
Okay.
You can see we're kind of getting a little bit of a glossier shine to it. I take a little bit more of that sauce real quick, or that liquid, excuse me.
Like you said, that'll help thin it out a little bit.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I guess I could have just used this rubber spatula I had right here the entire time, huh? And you can see the Parmesan starting to melt now. We've got really nice strings running through it. And she is just ready for the plate.
All right.
So I've just got us a nice plate. We're just going to do this family style. We'll take our pasta right in the middle here. A little bit of that sauce right over the top.
And then when it comes down to the sauce, it's just personal preference, right? How much you want on the plate.
Absolutely. You kind of don't want to make it look too saucy.
Right.
Obviously, so I'm going to keep a little bit. But again, like we talked about off screen, pasta is going to sit there and absorb all that
Right, absolutely.
anyways.
It'll thicken up on the plate.
Yeah, so it's always good to have extra sauce on the side, so that way when you've got leftovers and that, you can just simply add it to it and rehydrate your liquid.
Man. And so the cheese over there, is that the little finishing touch?
We're going to do it on a little finishing smidge.
Nice.
And there you go.
Man, look at that. Boy, Gordon Ramsay would be proud.
I try to make it proud every day.
Yes, sir. All right, Chef Chris, good to see you as always.
Thank you again for having me.
Absolutely. And for this recipe, you know where to go, myhighplains.com.